Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a quiet office, silently humming a tune that simply refuses to fade away? Perhaps you were in the shower and suddenly, the chorus of a pop song from a decade ago began playing on a loop inside your head. You might have even been lying in bed trying to drift off to sleep, only to be kept awake by a relentless, repeating snippet of a commercial jingle. This experience is an incredibly common and universal human phenomenon. It is an uninvited guest that sets up a radio in your mind and controls the dial without your permission, playing the same track over and over. Some beats are so simple and bold that your brain can run them without any speakers at all. Why do certain songs seem to hijack your brain and refuse to leave? Let's dive in. When a song gets stuck in your head, you are experiencing what scientists affectionately call an earworm. While the term might sound unsettling, it is simply a catchy metaphor for a very specific mental event. The more formal and less creepy term for this phenomenon is involuntary musical imagery. It is involuntary because you do not choose for it to happen. Musical because it involves a tune or rhythm. And imagery because it is happening entirely inside your mind, without any external sound source. It is a phantom song, a ghost in your cognitive machine. Scientific studies have shown that this happens to almost everyone. Over 90% of the population experience this at least once a week. For some individuals, these musical intruders can make an appearance multiple times a day, turning their internal soundscape into a non-stop jukebox. The fragments can be short and fleeting, or longer, more complex phrases that cycle endlessly. Sometimes they amuse, other times they annoy and disrupt focus. Women report earworms slightly more than men. Music is structured patterns of notes, rhythms, and harmonies, and our brains love patterns. Pattern detection fuels language and learning. A catchy song is a perfect bite-sized pattern to latch onto and replay. This mental replay is not a flaw. It is a feature repurposed by music, the same system that helps you remember a phone number or rehearse a sentence. Simplicity, repetition, and rhythmic drive make songs easy to process, recall, and loop. With the right combination of elements, a song becomes a persistent, involuntary soundtrack, whether we want it or not. Researchers using advanced imaging like fMRI see distinct regions light up with activity during earworms. One primary area is the auditory cortex in the temporal lobes, active as if you were actually listening. The motor cortex can also show activity. You might feel the urge to tap your foot, nod your head, or silently mouth the lyrics. Memory systems like the hippocampus and frontal lobes hold onto the tune and bring it back into awareness. Together, these systems form a self-sustaining musical loop, reconstructing music from memory. To truly understand how an earworm takes hold, meet the phonological loop, a short-term sound buffer in your working memory. Think of it as a tiny tape recorder that holds sounds, like a phone number or a line you're about to say, just long enough to rehearse them. It relies on a short-term store and a rehearsal process, like silently repeating words to keep them fresh. This is where the mischief begins. A short, simple, repetitive hook fits perfectly inside this buffer. The loop holds the fragment and replays it, feeding it back to the auditory cortex, round and round. Your memory stores the full song. The loop grabs a manageable piece to actively rehearse, usually a chorus or riff, not a whole symphony. This tiny segment is easy for working memory to handle and replay without much cognitive effort. The more it replays, the more it strengthens the memory trace, making future earworms likelier. It mostly runs below full consciousness, so an earworm can pop in while you're thinking about something else entirely. When the loop stumbles on a predictable pattern, it can get stuck, like a needle skipping the same groove. This isn't a disorder. It reflects how our brains manage and rehearse sounds. Our minds are a natural home for repeating tunes because the phonological loop is always ready to run. Auditory cortex provides sound. Memory keeps the melody available. The loop rehearses for a perfect self-sustaining circuit. And that circuit is why a tiny musical moment can feel incredibly big inside your head. Ready to find out what makes some songs extra sticky? The first ingredient, a simple, conventional melody, easy to sing or hum with predictable contours. Complex, meandering lines require too much effort to loop in short-term memory. Second, repetition in melody and lyrics. A chorus or riff heard early and often drills the pattern into neural pathways. An upbeat tempo, often around 120-130 BPM, matches walking and jogging rhythms, making it feel natural to your body. Most common earworms sit in a steady 4/4 time signature. Great earworms balance predictability with novelty. A small surprise breaks the pattern. A unique interval leap or slight rhythmic twist grabs attention and boosts memory. That tiny deviation acts like a hook, making the line unforgettable. Think of non-copyright examples. Row, row, row your boat. Simple, repetitive, easy. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Clear contour your brain loves to store and replay. Now imagine a pop chorus with the same structure, but ending on a surprising leap. That's the memorable flourish. The perfect recipe. Simple melody, heavy repetition, upbeat feel, and one special twist. Visualize rhythm as a clean grid with repeating motifs. Your phonological loop loves those neat, snackable patterns. Once embedded, the loop can replay the motif anytime, no headphones required. So, why won't some earworms stop even when you beg them to? Let's talk about the cognitive itch, and why trying not to think about a song can make it louder. When we hear only part of a familiar song, our brains treat it like an unfinished task. That's the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished or interrupted tasks stick in memory better than completed ones. To resolve tension, your brain replays the part it knows, hoping to reach the end. But if the verse is fuzzy and only the chorus is clear, the itch never gets fully scratched. Ironic process theory explains why suppressing a thought makes it stronger. Telling yourself to stop thinking of a song forces a mental check-in, accidentally pressing play again. The struggle itself keeps the music playing. Earworms thrive under low cognitive load, routine moments with brain space to spare. Right before sleep is a common window, your mental guard is down. Stress, anxiety, or fatigue weaken cognitive control, making intrusive tunes harder to dismiss. With lowered defenses, the loop runs more freely and persists. Sometimes an earworm feels less like a guest and more like a stubborn squatter who refuses to pay rent. Beyond structure, exposure, and emotional context determine which songs haunt us. The more frequently you hear a song, the more likely it is to become an earworm. Advertisers know this. Short, catchy jingles repeated across radio, TV, and online are engineered to stick. They want the hook to pop into your mind at the right moment. Recency matters. This morning's tune is more likely to loop than one you haven't heard in years. Emotional moments make songs stickier. The amygdala and hippocampus tag them as important. Hear a song during a big moment and it becomes more than sound. It becomes an emotional trigger. Later, just a few notes can bring back a flood of memories and feelings. Songs from your teenage years hit especially hard. Formative experiences give them a privileged place in memory. That tight link makes them prime candidates for involuntary replay. If a song is everywhere, cafes, stores, movies, your brain barely has to work to recall it. It's already in the air. Primed by exposure and emotion, the phonological loop can load it at a moment's notice. While most earworms fade, stubborn ones can be distracting. Here are 5 simple science-backed tricks. 1. Listen to the full song from beginning to end to satisfy the need for closure. 2. Chew a piece of gum. Jaw movement disrupts the phonological loop's rehearsal. 3. Replace it with a different, less sticky song. 4. Engage in a focused mental task to occupy working memory. 5. Simply let it fade. Acknowledge without engaging to avoid the rebound of suppression. Playing the full song targets the Zeigarnik effect. Closure ends the itch. Chewing gum physically interferes with subvocal rehearsal. Switching songs uses direct replacement. Puzzles starve the earworm of cognitive resources. Letting it be avoids ironic process rebound. What works varies. Keep a small toolkit and switch tactics as needed. The earworm is a fascinating, charming quirk of our cognitive architecture. It shows the deep connection between music, memory, and the automatic patterns that run our minds. That uninvited tune isn't madness. It's proof your brain can detect, store, and rehearse auditory patterns. Your phonological loop loves sounds that are simple, structured, and memorable. Unfinished phrases keep looping. Fighting them can backfire. Recent exposure and emotional attachment can lock a tune in place. Earworms are a harmless reminder your brain is working, processing, and making connections. Now that we've talked about earworms, you probably have one stuck in your head right now. What song is it? Go on, admit it. Comment below. If you enjoyed this, tap subscribe for more brainy deep dives.